The stage was Kisumu, the characters all too familiar. The script this time was a tale of an opposition stronghold dancing to the tune of the gains of the handshake. President Uhuru Kenyatta addressed a nation that gathered at the port city while scoffing at the judiciary that partly punctured his flagship BBI project with Raila Odinga. Tonight we tell you of the told and the untold of the Madaraka Day celebrations. But first, these are the stories making headlines tonight. Tonight, Kisumu County holds the first national holiday celebrations ever with the 58th Madaraka Day fete making the much-awaited debut in the Lake City. President Uhuru Kenyatta takes a swipe at the courts for nullifying the BBI process, saying the sovereignty of the people will reign. Madaraka Day celebrations in Kisumu fail to respect the COVID-19 containment protocols, with large crowds thronging the Lake City contrary to government directive. And cattle wrestlers kill 3 people and seriously injure another in Isiolo County. The bandits stole 800 goats and drove them towards Samburu. Mini Mbesa is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta led the country in commemorating this year's Madaraka Day celebrations in Kisumu County. In his second last speech, the president outlined some of the achievements of his administration. And as Mwangi Maina now reports from Kisumu, the president's visit to Kisumu has been seen as cementing the handshake between him and ODM boss Raila Odinga.
It was the first time Kisumu County played host to a national celebration, with this year's Madaraka Day being marked at the newly constructed Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium, the guest of honor being the President of the Republic of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye. Kisumu Governor Anyang' Nyong'o lauded President Uhuru Kenyatta for initiating tens of developmental projects in the county, as well as the larger Nyanza region, Nyong'o crediting the handshake for the president's basket of goodies to the region.
Kisumu saw sad moments that tarnished our nationhood and caused painful feelings of political exclusion among many Kenyan communities to the detriment of our national development agenda. Throughout all this period, Your Excellency, Kisumu has never turned its back on Kenya. We were nationalists in 1963. We remain nationalists today.
ODM leader Raila Odinga, who was invited to the podium by President Uhuru Kenyatta, insisted on a stimulus package program to cushion millions of Kenyans reeling from the ravages of COVID-19 pandemic. Odinga calling on the president to bring back the Kazi Mtaani initiative as a source of livelihood to millions of jobless youths.
Ukosefu wa kazi imepotea. Wengine wamepoteza wenzao, wamekufa. Wengine biashara yao imeporomoka. Kuna shida mingi zaidi. Sasa tunataka tuwe na program ya kureconstruct na tuanze na stimulus program kubwa ya kusaidia hawa wetu wananchi.
Deputy President William Ruto lauded the president for launching and commissioning various projects, which he said the Jubilee government does not discriminate any region, regardless of the political affiliation. He insisted on the respect of democratic space enjoyed by every Kenyan, insisting that freedom fighters fought for a democratic country based on constitutionalism, not personalities or ethnicity.
Our forefathers worked hard, toiled, shed blood, so that we can have a democratic nation. A nation anchored not on personalities, but on constitutionalism. A nation built not on the foundation of tribes or ethnicities, but built on the foundation of institutions, a robust legislature, a performing executive, an independent judiciary.
On his part, President of Burundi Evariste Ndayishimiye retaliated the need for unity of purpose for both Burundi and Kenya. He says the boundaries between the two countries have been opened and encouraged investors from both countries to hit the ground running for the prosperity of the two nations.
Burundi na Kenya tumekwisha ungana, tumekwisha kuwa ndugu. Wa Kenya ni wa ndugu wa Burundi na wakaribisha Burundi ni kwenu, na Warundi tunajua kwamba mmekwisha tukaribisha, na huyu upendo uendelee milele na milele.
President Kenyatta listed some of the major developmental projects his government has accomplished, including the rehabilitation of 566 kilometers of the Mita Gauge Railway, the construction of a new Lamu port, which he says is the first deep-sea port to be constructed in the Indian Ocean more than 100 years since the Mombasa port was constructed. The president took credit of the Kisumu port and the construction of 25 new hospitals in informal settlements within Nairobi.
Revived 200-kilometer Nairobi-Nyanyuki Railway will be a game changer. Every trip, the train will transport 1,600 passengers, which is equivalent to a convoy of 120 matatus. And the cost per passenger will be Kenya shillings 200 compared to current Kenya shillings 500 by matatu.
The president also noted that his government has increased Reno units to 16 in 47 counties compared to the 6 that existed when he took over. It has been the last Madaraka Day celebrations for Uhuru Kenyatta as a president of the Republic of Kenya. He says he wants to leave behind a legacy of one united country with one united front. Reporting for TV47 from the Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium in Kisumu City, my name is Mwangi Maina.
Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has once again criticized the 5-judge bench ruling which saw the BBI process nullified and his plan to change the constitution ahead of next year's general election paused. In his speech at the 58th Madaraka Day celebrations, Kenyatta pointed out that the ruling, which has put him at loggerheads with the judges, further revisiting the 2017 historic cancellation of his election, and this time implying that the sovereign power of the people will reign.
Even after the vigorous dance on the 58th Madaraka celebrations, President Kenyatta had no kind words for the judiciary and more so to the 5-judge bench, which nullified the BBI process. The president criticized the High Court ruling which stopped the BBI train while on motion, a move which Kenyatta says cannot just focus on the technicalities without matching the gains of the document, which he says would have been decided in the ballot.
The BBI dream is to send even more resources to the counties in order to catalyze their accelerated development. And that is why we have proposed under the BBI to send 35% of our national revenue to counties.
Without mincing his words, the president revisited the historic cancellation of the 2017 elections, which he says had implications that cost almost 1 trillion shillings. The head of state said the High Court did not consider the burden of choice while declaring the Building Bridges Initiative BBI process unconstitutional on May 13th this year.
BBI were to be stopped. Who carries the burden of choice? On whose shoulders will ethnic majoritarianism rest? And who will carry the burden of losing 30% of our national budget every 5 years due to the toxic politics that BBI sought to resolve?
Further, the head of state dismissed the finding that the whole process was unconstitutional by not being a popular initiative. He says only the sovereign power of people will reign at the end of the day, pointing out the gains of the BBI document.
The judiciary would have asked itself another question. Can Kenya truly be a democracy if the people are denied the opportunity to express their sovereign and supreme choice at the ballot box on the basis of elevating technicalities over the overriding objectives of the law.
His speech coming a day ahead of case management conference for the BBI appeal case at the Court of Appeal. Elizabeth Mutuko, TV47.
Now, Kisumu County has gone down in history for hosting a national holiday celebration for the first time since independence. And as our reporter Violet Auma now explains, the events of the day did not disappoint the 3,000 invited guests at the Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium.
It was a big day in Kisumu. The lakeside city was hosting the 58th Madaraka Day celebrations. The first time for Kisumu to host a national holiday event. Here, everything and everyone was in a celebratory mood. Even the security was heightened in and around Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium. The Maroon Commandos and a team from Burundi were among the entertainers in Kisumu. Soldiers who donned in their official regalia did what they know best. But this officer was not as lucky. He collapsed during the event and was to be rushed to hospital. After arriving at the venue, President Uhuru Kenyatta inspected the guard of honor before joining other leaders, among them his Deputy President William Ruto and former Premier Raila Odinga at the podium. The Green Eagles showcased their ability in the sky, jumping with parachutes. Another officer had to be rushed to hospital after sustaining injuries during the air show. It was a happy event indeed for many people who attended. But not for this man who fell in the hands of men in black after he was spotted running towards the president during his address.
It was an event that marked the 58th year since attainment of self-rule in Kenya. Though amidst COVID-19 pandemic, Kenyans and leaders had a reason to celebrate this year. Reporting for TV47, I'm Violet Auma.
Indeed, it was the first national celebrations to be held in Kisumu County. President Uhuru Kenyatta has been on a 3-day working tour of the Nyanza region, where he launched and commissioned several development projects. And as Paul Kirobi now reports, the projects were not only launched in Kisumu County, but also in Siaya, where President Uhuru Kenyatta's handshake partner Raila Odinga calls County of Home.
Kisumu residents were in their thousands outside the Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium and the streets of Kisumu town as early as 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. This being the first time the event was held in the lakeside town. This, ODM boss Raila Odinga says, are the fruits of handshake between him and President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Being in Kisumu today is significant and uplifting as we forge lasting bonds between the people of Kenya.
Upon touching down on Sunday afternoon, President Kenyatta made Odinga's Siaya backyard his first stop, where he made good his promise to make the visit a fond one for residents by launching various projects. Among them, the Kodiaga Wagai Road project and the Siaya Bondo Water project in Yala. Other projects include the revitalization of the 3 billion shilling Kisumu Port, Uhuru Business Park and Marketing Complex, Simu Inland Container Depot, Lake Basin Mall, and the revival of the Kisumu Nakuru Railway.
Sasa tunasema tunataka tu mwendo mpya yale ambayo mmeanza. Hii mwanzo ni kwanza kuunganisha Wakenya wewe kama kitu kimoja. Bila hiyo hakuna maendeleo. Na hiyo ndio maana ya handshake.
Nimepata chance ya leo kucelebrate Madaraka Day kwa kaunti yetu ya Kisumu. Tumeona kuna kitu imefanyika kabisa cause. Hiyo naona ni kumbe tunaonekana kama watu wa Kenya, unaona. Kama wanaweza leta Madaraka celebration kubwa kwa hii kaunti yetu hivi, tumeshukuru sana. Na tena naweza shukuru sana waheshimiwa wetu wenye walikuwa Kama anaweza anza na Mr. President Uhuru Kenyatta, na appreciate sana kwa kazi yenye amefanya. Raila Amolo Odinga, na appreciate sana wakishikana na president wetu. Mimi nimeona tu kazi wenye wamefanya, naona Kisumu saizi imeendelea sana na ni juu ya handshake.
And it's a plus for us. So we as the youths, I think it will create more jobs for us. The handshake, you've seen the projects that are working on. The port is there, the railway is working, and so much more.
Others are the commissioning of the Koru Soin multipurpose dam, Moroni Mamboleo Road project, and a bailout appeal to revive the operations of the Sony Sugar Company.
The choice of Kisumu to host Madaraka Day this year is also intertwined with our national heritage, for there cannot be a better place to celebrate our liberation struggle and ponder the future of self-rule than here in Kisumu City. Kisumu is not only the historical hub of the East African Cooperation, it was also the intellectual incubator.
The tour of the two handshake brothers comes amid fear of Cold War in the handshake and is expected to cement the handshake grip. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Paul Kirobi, for that. You are watching your channel of choice, TV47 News Tonight, with me, Abu Bakr Abdullahi. Time for us to take a short break. Stay tuned.
You are watching TV47, the home of Untold Stories. Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongee zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali, tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Nitajoble nitaongea na kila mmoja wao.
Very good. Piga *444 asi utunukiwe Credo double.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
New Blue Band peanut butter. Made with 100% pure peanuts. And a good source of omega-6. Grow healthy and happy kids with New Blue Band peanut butter.
Candace, what's that?
I brought you a small bonus.
Bonus for what?
You got us 299 family dinners, 64 kisses on the cheek, 12 road trips to see grandma, 42 jokes from daddy, 49 laughs from mommy.
In over 60 years of dealing with numbers, we've learned that the numbers that matter the most to you are the ones that matter the most to us. NCBA Bank. Go for it.
We have reached endless heights.
Na mtu wangu ni wewe mpenzi wangu.
We have redefined entertainment.
You got to be free.
Unagara.
Shown that there's no limit to creativity and brought to life original Kenyan stories.
Thank you so very much.
And with this, we have given you endless possibilities.
Leo ni ile siku tunasemanga it is a new day.
Tusawe iliyopita, tugange yajayo.
On Maisha Magic East, it's ours truly.
You are watching TV47, the home of Untold Stories.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now, for the third time in recent weeks, President Uhuru Kenyatta's itinerary has been interrupted by a stranger. Today, the president's Madaraka Day speech was momentarily cut short after a stranger appeared to charge towards the main podium. But why are they risking it all to get the president's attention? Margaret Wanjiru investigates.
Despite the looming fear of the spread of the Indian variant of COVID-19, the 58th Madaraka Day celebration was still held at the Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium in Kisumu City. All seemed well up until President Uhuru Kenyatta was delivering his speech. His speech, marked with a lot of praises of what Jubilee government has done for the past 8 years, was cut short by a curious anomaly. A youthful man wearing a Jubilee t-shirt had scaled a security barrier at the stadium and had started making his way to the podium shouting, "Uhuru nisaidie." The president's security, however, intervened and carried the barefoot man away. The president was heard telling his security personnel to let the man be. This marks the third time in the past month in which someone has tried to breach the president's security, trying to get Uhuru's attention. But why? Why do people feel they need to speak to the president one-on-one? And what are they dying to tell him? We asked a few Kenyans on the streets what they would do if they were given the opportunity to reach the president, and this is what they had to say.
So nilikuwa naomba tu kama Uhuru angekuwa hapa saa hii, angetuangalia maisha. Sisi tunaishi mahali mbaya, hatuna stima, hatuna maji ya sawasawa, manyumba hatuna vile tunakaa tu kama squatters ile hawana makao.
Vijana pia, vijana wana kazi, vijana wengine wameingilia kuiba, uizi. Sasa tungependa tu hadi pia hii kazi mtaani bado pesa hazijatumwa. Vijana ni wamechoka. Huku hivi si watu wengi wako na manyumba, kuna wenye wanalala nje.
Hapa kwetu bila ambao COVID-19 iliingia, tuko na mahitaji sana. Juu hata manyumba hatuwezi kalipa. Chakula tunakosa. Saa zingine pia tukikuwa tumegonjeka hatuna hata vile ambavyo tunaweza tuende tukitibiwe.
The problem we have here in Deep Sea, tunaambiwa barabara inapita. Ushaona? Na tuombe barabara ipite, kwa Mungu tunaomba wakaju kama barabara itakuja ipite, tupewe makazi mengine pale tutaishi. You see?
As is evident, many Kenyans have been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Revenue inflows have since been affected by the fact that the market has been interrupted. The supply chains have been equally affected.
COVID-19 did not only stop the creation of jobs in the micro enterprises, but it also wiped out 5.1 million jobs in the informal sector.
The Federation of Kenya Employers recently released a survey that illustrated the landmark effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on the economy. The FKE appealed for a supportive fiscal policy by government to support the restoration of jobs in the informal sector. There might, however, be a light at the end of the tunnel. One of the focuses of the president's speech was on economic acceleration. The improved relations in East African community countries and the opening of the revitalized Kisumu port also signal better times ahead for the Kenyan economy as businesses anticipate an increase in exports. Margaret Wanjiru, TV 47.
Now, Corona visited me, but I put it down instead. This was opposition leader Raila Odinga's encouraging message to those battling the COVID-19 pandemic during the Madaraka Day festivities in Kisumu.
Opposition Chief Raila Odinga has urged the government to focus on reconstructing the country's economy, which has been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking during the 58th Madaraka Day fete in Kisumu, Odinga emphasized on the provision of an economic stimulus program to cushion those affected.
Ukosefu wa kazi imepotea. Wengine wamepoteza wenzao, wamekufa. Wengine biashara yao imeporomoka. Kuna shida mingi zaidi. Sasa tunataka tuwe na program ya reconstruct.
2 months ago, the Orange Democratic Movement leader became the highest profile political leader in the country to contract COVID-19. According to ODM Party Communications Director Philip Etale, his boss contracted the virus from a prominent family he visited while on a tour of the coastal region. After a 3-week battle with novel coronavirus, Raila recovered from the global contagion.
Mimi hiyo corona ilikuja ikanitembelea. Ikasema nataka kuniangusha. Mimi nikamuuliza wewe ni nani wa nani? Inilibudinyanga kanga.
But the caution against the vicious virus seems to be evading Raila Odinga nonetheless. Before he contracted the deadly virus in early March 2021, he was on a string of BBI campaigns at the coast region. Back then, he interacted with different people and large crowds that paid little attention to COVID-19 prevention protocols. The same script is being repeated in Kisumu. Grace Josephine for TV47.
Still on matters COVID-19, and despite the Ministry of Health sounding an alarm on the surge of COVID-19 infections in Kisumu County, and the county government together with leaders from the Nyanza region committing to hold the Madaraka Day celebrations under strict adherence to COVID-19 guidelines, today's celebrations painted a very different picture. And as our health reporter Zainab Mohammed now reports, the serious breaching of COVID-19 guidelines in today's celebrations may just lead to a further increase in infections in the already highly infected county.
Kisumu County has made the headlines the past few weeks due to a surge in COVID-19 cases. Data from the Ministry of Health showing the county leading twice in the last 1 week in the number of infections per county. Kisumu recorded 110 cases on the 25th of May and 57 cases on the 27th of May. On the 28th, 29th and 1st of June, the county maintaining a top 3 lead in the distribution of infections per county. Kisumu County recording 53, 43 and 67 cases respectively. However, despite this reality and an alarm sounded by the Ministry of Health, the Madaraka Day celebrations held in Kisumu County faulted almost all of the Ministry of Health given guidelines. The attendees' seating arrangement not respecting the 1 meter social distancing rule, some people visibly not wearing their masks, the number of guests in the stadium surpassing more than 3,000 guests as had been earlier planned, with large crowds and political gatherings taking place outside the stadium. And even though the county government tried to put interventions to manage the crowds, such as the use of tear gas to disperse crowds, it is clear that the celebrations will have a huge impact on the already highly infected county. Meanwhile, the country has today recorded a total of 349 new COVID-19 cases, 176 recoveries, and 16 new deaths. Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
And still on matters health, and as the country marks the 58th Madaraka Day celebrations, our reporter Boniface Barasa caught up with Endebe's Member of Parliament Dr. Robert Pukose, who was attending to medical needs of his constituents, this time by conducting free surgery, and has filed the following report.
It is at Endebe Sub-County Hospital at the far end of Trans Nzoia County. Few minutes after our arrival at the facility, the area MP Dr. Robert Pukose arrives. His first mission is to get a briefing of cases that require his attention from Medical Superintendent Dr. Cynthia Shivachi. After the formalities, the MP heads straight to the theatre room, where he puts on the official regalia in company of the medical superintendent and the nurses in charge before he starts offering his service to the first patient.
We do pre-operative preparations. You are able to do the various investigations which you do to make sure that this patient is fit for surgery. Once that is done, then the patient now is given a date when we can be able to operate.
To Pukose, this is the best way to commemorate the 58th Madaraka Day celebration, as well as complementing the sacrifice of the freedom fighters.
when I come here just to give a free service to the community. They don't pay me anything. And I'm happy to have done it today on Madaraka Day, considering that this is the day our freedom fighters were able to get us Madaraka. And therefore, we are complimenting what our heroes did. And therefore, it's good. It's a good feeling to do such a work on a day like this.
The second-time legislator says his humble background and the passion to serve is the driving force behind the culture of offering free medical services to his constituents.
We had a very difficult beginning because my mom would brew busa, changa to support us. And being a successful surgeon, being a member of parliament, I feel I have just to give free service to the community.
He's later joined by Dr. Simon Kapchanga, who is a specialist in orthopedic surgery, stationed at the Kapenguria County Referral Hospital from neighboring West Pokot County.
We felt the best thing that we can do, the best way we can celebrate this day is to be with our people and to offer the little that we can offer to our people.
But what do residents take of their MP's gesture?
Nikiona kiongozi ambaye amechaguliwa kuja kunisaidia mimi, pia hii ni encouragement kwetu kama sisi vijana kwamba tunapoendelea na maisha, taaluma inabaki chanzo muhimu sana katika maisha yetu.
Nimefurahia siku ya leo kuona mbunge wetu ajenda sherehe, lakini amekuja kusaidia wagonjwa ambao hawana uwezo.
Dr. Pukose is certified by the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacist and Dentist Union, KMPDU, has a master's degree in surgery from the University of Nairobi.
While other leaders converged at the lakeside city of Kisumu to commemorate the 58th Madaraka Day celebration, the MP thought it twice to attend to the medical needs of his constituents. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Endebe Sub-County Hospital, Trans Nzoia County.
Thank you, Boniface Barasa from Trans Nzoia County, the food basket county. You're watching the county's television. Time for us to take another short break. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
You see the woman you keep on admiring? They might be going through the same pain that you're going through right now, the same grief that you're going through now, or even the same disease that you are suffering with right now. Why can't I see clearly? But the only difference between you and them is that, yes, they cried, but they managed to learn through the pain and they came out as conquerors.
I stayed for like 2 years without having a job. I cannot even do a simple thing like taking a shower.
So Joy, you can imagine every day you're waking up, going to work, and knowing for sure, you have a dead baby.
Join me each and every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on 19 with Joy Irungu here on TV47.
At Global Precast Panels, we have the best quality, durable and affordable precast panels to suit all your needs. Manufactured under a controlled environment, we have the best precast concrete panels, precast concrete floor slabs, precast concrete perimeter wall, precast concrete columns and beams. Our panels reduce construction cost by up to 40% with absolutely no plaster required, including added soundproof benefits. Convenient for story buildings, schools, offices, residential houses, hospitals, and warehouses. Take advantage of our free transport. Contact us on 0702 24 7267 or 0796 24 7267. Global Precast Panels Limited, your reliable option for efficient construction.
These are the sights and sounds of a working nation. There are no shortages to remarkable ideas. What's missing is the will to execute them.
You need to stay relevant. If you don't, you're going to fade off.
Yes, they are a dime in a dozen, but the real meat on these bones comes from trying to realize them.
You just need to perfect anything. If it's drawing, if it's music,
pursue it 100% because it's something that is giving back.
Join me, Violet Njoki, as I tell you the stories of these executed ideas, because yours could be next. Mondays, 7:30 p.m.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Well, the speaker is neither here nor there.
I should have done my outro from here.
Yes, no.
And we're just like that. I look beautiful.
Tune in to Morning Cafe, Mondays to Fridays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. with me, Linda Alela, only on TV47, the home of Untold Stories.
Buy now on Jumia or Amazon.
You are watching TV47, the home of Untold Stories.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get to more news. And police officers in Isiolo County are pursuing suspected cattle rustlers from Samburu East who shot dead 3 people and left 1 person nursing serious injuries. Daniel Masidza reports.
An unknown number of cattle rustlers last night raided Kamanga village, which is located at the Isiolo-Samburu border, leaving 3 people dead and 1 seriously injured. Confirming the incident, Isiolo County Police Commandant Joseph Keegan said his officers are pursuing the bandits who are suspected to have come from Samburu.
Kwa Samburu sasa walikuja pamia watu wakiwa kwa malisho. Hiyo ndio ripoti ile tunapata, na hata ndio nasikia hata niko kwa barabara ndio tunaenda kutafuta hiyo wanyama hiyo. Hatujajua ni majeruhi ni kiasi gani, lakini bado tunafuatilia kwa sababu saa hii ndio niko kwa barabara. Kwa sababu tulikuwa tumepokea mbuzi zingine walikuwa wametuibia tena juzi hiyo wa Samburu.
The injured is receiving treatment at Isiolo Referral Hospital, while 1 body has been interred at Muslim Cemetery in Chehelesim.
Kila siku tunakosa mali, tunakosa vijana, kila siku tunazika watu. Je, sasa ile serikali ile akaunti ya Isiolo ni serikali gani iko na ya Samburu iko serikali gani?
Ile mtu anaua mtu, serikali iko na mkono mrefu, hapana shika na waachilia. Hivi inauziana hiyo watu. Anajua kutika hapa. Hapa ajas ndio anatumaliza. Tenda kukaa, tumeshinda kulisha watoto wetu yote ni yatima, wazee wetu yote ni yatima. Kwa hivyo mambo ni namna hiyo.
Kila siku watu wa innocent ambayo wanachunga mali yao hawajaenda kupiga watu, wachungaji ambaye hawana shida yoyote. Mtu anachukua bunduki kutoka kwao, anakuja, anaua, mali anaenda naye. Hatutaki kupita mkono ya serikali. Tuko na kama wale wanatupiga na vijana yao, tuko na vijana. Lakini tumezuia. Tunangojea hakikisho ya serikali.
Responding to the incident, Burat MCA Hassan Yaro called on the government to beef up security following increased cases of banditry in Isiolo and its environs.
Sisi ni wakarimu, tumeenda kuregister bunduki pamoja na ile KBR tulikuwa nao. Tunaambiwa hiyo bunduki inachekwa irudishwe, tulirudishwa, iliwekwa kwa amra. Sisi tulibaki mkono hivi na wengine walibaki na bunduki. Hiyo bunduki ndio wanamaliza sisi. Hiyo ndio inafanya mali yetu ziende karibu kila siku.
This comes barely a week after former National Cohesion and Integration Commission Chair Francis Ole Kaparo put leaders from pastoral communities and professionals on the spot over the rising cases of clashes that have led to senseless killings among the communities. Daniel Masiza, TV47.
Elsewhere, 2 passengers, a man and a woman, have died in a light aircraft crash at the Vuria Hills in Taita Taveta County. The light fixed-wing aircraft took off from Wilson Airport en route to Mombasa. Reports indicate that the pilot may have experienced difficulties due to foggy weather. Coast Regional Police Commander Paul Ndambuki confirmed the incident. However, this is the 3rd incident to happen within the same county, with 2 other incidents involving a military plane and one involving a KDF aircraft.
Nilipata habari kuwa kuna ndege imecrash. Mwananchi mmoja alinipigia simu akanieleza kwamba kuna ndege imegonga mlima wa Vuria, na hapo nikachukua hatua ya kuwajulisha maafisa wa usalama pamoja na assistant chiefs.
Tulisearch hiyo msitu kama for almost 1 hour, ndio tukaja kuspecify mahali hiyo ndege ilikuwa imeanguka, na tukafika hapo kwa hiyo area. Wananchi walikuwa kwa wingi, tulikuwa na zaidi ya watu 50 wa usiku, na nashukuru vijana ambao tulishirikiana nao katika harakati ya kutafuta hiyo ndege, na tukaweza kuidentify, tukakuta 2 bodies ambazo wote walikuwa wameaga. Tunaomba mara nyingi wale ndugu zetu marubani, kulingana na area yetu inakuwa ikifika saa 12 kunaanza kuwa na fogu. So mara nyingi wasitumie kukuja huku Mwanda kwa sababu it's very dangerous.
Well, may the souls